Well, the Mammoth Community Water District last week decided to raise the water use restriction level in the town of Mammoth Lakes. Sierra Wave Media's Rob Gill talked with Betty Hylton of the Mammoth Community Water District.
Level 3 water restrictions are effective April 10th. The Mammoth Community Water District had a special board meeting on April 1st where the board of directors decided to move to level 3 watering restrictions. This decision was made after receiving the results of the snowpack on Mammoth Pass. It is 1 inch, which is about 2% of normal, and also the failure of 2 groundwater wells. Level 3 restrictions for the community means that people will only be allowed to water 2 days a week. Even addresses are permitted to water on Wednesday and Saturday, and odd addresses on Thursday and Sunday, and watering can only occur between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. Other significant impacts for our customers are cars can only be washed at commercial properties. You're not allowed to wash down hard surfaces with water. And also leaks must be repaired within 48 hours after receiving notification from the water district. You can get a full list of our level 3 restrictions on our website at mcwd.dst.ca.us. We are asking the community of Mammoth to reduce their water use by 30%. Some tips to help you reduce your water by 30% is cut your shower times by a couple minutes. Make sure you're only running full loads of laundry and also dishes. Maybe try to consolidate those loads to only be running a couple times a week. If you would like more information, please call 760-934-2596 and I can be reached at extension 274.
All right, thanks for that. Let's all be very water-wise here in the Eastern Sierra, and you can see the press release from the Mammoth Community Water District on water use restrictions on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, Deb Murphy filed this following report for Sierra Wave Media. The 6,000 square foot orthopedic physical therapy clinic slated to open in late spring on South Main Street in Bishop is a bone of contention between area hospitals. Now, the clinic is an expansion and relocation of Mammoth Hospital's existing physical therapy facility and, according to Northern Inyo Hospital Chief Administrative Officer Victoria Lane Alexander, represents a duplication of services already available in Bishop and, quote, an unnecessary tax burden on, end quote, the local hospital district. Now, in late February, Lane sent a letter to the Inyo County Board of Supervisors requesting, quote, support regarding Northern Inyo Hospital's efforts to work toward a better alignment of healthcare services, end quote. The board has yet to respond formally. Now, the next round went to Mammoth Hospital's Chief Executive Officer, Gary Myers, responding to Lane's allegations of lack of accountability on the part of Mammoth for follow-up care. Myers' letter states Lane's comments border on slander. Now, as at its March 17th meeting, the Inyo supervisors suggested the local agency formation commission could deal with the issue. Now, while Josh Hart, county planning director and Inyo's LAFCO staffer, said the commission would look into it, the Mono County LAFCO seemed less inclined. LAFCOs generally deal with changes in boundaries and services of utility districts. Now, for Northern Inyo Hospital board member Pete Watercott, it's an issue of trust. Personally, Watercott said, I feel like we were led down a path. It sucks the trust out of the relationship. Watercott said that in a recent interview. Now, the issue of the Mammoth-sponsored clinic creating an increase on area taxpayers was explained by Lane. If people come here for orthopedic care, it will be less dependent on taxpayers. Everything they need is here. Our surgical cases are covered. We also have digital x-ray equipment, Lane said. Now, as the work proceeds on the Bishop Clinic, the dispute appears to be at a standstill. Now, according to both Watercott and Myers, the orthopedic relationship between the two hospitals goes back to the early 2000s. Now, Northern Inyo Hospital, between orthopedic physicians, initiated an agreement with Mammoth. Now, according to Myers' letter, the Southern Mono Hospital District leased office space and staffed orthopedic services in the Pioneer Medical Building in 2003. Dr. Mark Robinson, newly named Chief of Staff at Northern Inyo Hospital, was the physician and credentialed at both Mammoth and Inyo hospitals. Now, in in 2011, Mammoth opened an outpatient physical therapy facility in Bishop to service Inyo County patients. Now, according to Myers, Northern Inyo Hospital, quote, chose not to address the shortage, end quote, following the closure of a private physical therapy practice in Bishop. Now, according to Lane, Robinson, quote, felt he was being pressured to do surgeries in Mammoth. He felt that was undermining the agreement, end quote. Now, by January 2013, the orthopedic practice sponsorship shifted to, and Robinson was hired by, Northern Inyo Hospital. By May 2014, Lane, Watercott, and Myers were attending an Association of California Hospitals District Conference in Pasadena. Now, according to Watercott, Myers told him Mammoth Hospital had made the decision to close their clinics in Bishop, but that the orthopedic group may want to continue on their own. Myers' recollection of the exchange differs. In an email, Myers states Watercott asked him if the hospital intended to open a surgery center in Bishop. The clinic on Main Street will not be doing outpatient surgeries. Now, said Victoria Alexander Lane, quote, the two doctors involved in the Bishop clinic don't want to be on staff. They could both be credentialed at both hospitals and do surgeries at both. If they did, there wouldn't be an issue. We, Northern Inyo Hospital, have no clinics in Mammoth. They are the predators, end quote. Now, in addition to where Bishop Clinic patients undergo surgery, Alexander Lane has issues with practices that could, quote, result in our physicians having to provide emergency follow-up care for the infections and other negative outcomes which present in our emergency room, end quote. Now, the practices she described in a recent interview include knee replacements on an outpatient basis and the use of steroids to fight infection, but mask issues that show up later. Now, Myers' response by email states that knee replacement patients at Mammoth Hospital have, quote, an average length of stay of 1 day, end quote. Myers went on to add that he was unqualified to comment on the post-operative management, quote, and it is outside my scope of practice. Dr. Karch stays fully up to date with the orthopedic literature and follows evidence-based protocols in the management of his patients, end quote. Now, a review of studies of steroid use for knee replacement surgery published in Sci Med Central, Annals of Orthopedics and Rheumatology, shows 4 cases of infection in 791 patients. Now, according to the article, steroids are used to reduce pain and inflammation, getting the patient into rehabilitation more quickly. Now, despite the not too subtle war of words between the two CAOs, both maintain they are open to future collaboration. We thank Deb Murphy for that report, which is posted on our website, sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.